And I think we agreed last time I spoke to you all. Where the fuck is the... Oh, there it is. That we can skip ahead to everyone meeting up at the tavern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rosette could... If it's... Rosette, you have to spend at most half an hour if you want to. Like that, the minimum is half an hour. You can... You have the privilege of saying, that's enough. Or talk to... I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Olivier.
What?
Olivier.
Yeah.
Olivier. Okay, let me
Iris,
raise up
you might need
Iris.
to adjust your mic just a little bit because we're having trouble hearing you.
Oh, sorry. 1 sec. Is this any better? Can you hear me?
It's about the same.
It's about the same.
Never mind.
Technical difficulties.
Ugh.
Gotta love it. It's good.
Also, I
Okay.
apologize for all of my sniffing, preemptively apologizing for the sheer volume of my sniffs tonight.
It's okay. Clint just has a stuffy nose from getting dunked in water. Or getting splashed from the fucking big water spell. Bear did. I forgot what it's called.
I think it's just control water.
Control water?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All that
It
could
just
come to
has-
mind was big water.
It just has like the 4 sub effects that all have their unique names, like Whirlpool and Tidal Wave and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
Control water that has a specialized part A and part B.
Uh-huh. Because why not?
Now I'm gonna make it canon that reborns can get colds.
Hello? Is this any better?
It's a little clearer. No, I can see.
I can, like, put you to max.
No, I can take it up. Dude. Testing? Is this any better?
Yes.
Sound clear? Okay, cool.
Raise you up
Very
the
clear.
stealth a little bit.
Oops.
Well, I have to custom dust most all of you every single night, so
Same.
think
It's just constant going up and down.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of the level of energy anybody has on any given night as to how loud they are.
Mm-hmm. How far away my mic is on the desk, if I've pushed it away or not.
But yes, we're all meeting back up, giving a room to Rosette and her 2 sailors.
Oh yeah, they're here too. I forgot about them.
Beautiful ladies.
Very pretty water
Sorry.
genasi.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, it doesn't take too long for the guards to show up. By the time Feyre, Venti, and Borea are done getting all the prisoners, who are all unconscious, onto dry land, they have turned up. And they have lots of questions. Mainly for Rosette.
Yeah, as soon as the guards turn up and start asking questions, Feyre goes from being fairly helpful to being like, that's on them, dipping. She's not hanging out.
Man, bad time to get the yawns. But yeah, that doesn't take too long talking to the guards, who are just like, "What the fuck just happened? Why are there like 5 ships destroyed, including a fucking spelljammer in the docks here?"
So it's you.
Yeah, does Rosette tell them the truth?
Yeah, they're literally the boat was they tried to hijack the boat.
Okay. I just want to make sure, and I don't want to assume that you're telling the truth.
Rogues are not known for being the most truthful.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with telling the truth here. If anything, it benefits.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, taking the half hour or so to explain the situation to them, they take your statement. They help Venti and Borea take all the prisoners and load them up on the fucking wagon.
Paddy wagon.
Mm-hmm. All of them do receive medical attention, since some of them were unconscious from what they deduced was blunt force trauma to the head. Venti would call it a mean left hook. But yeah, they're all taken care of and taken into custody, and you are eventually free to go. Venti and Borea both tired, because it's like fucking like what, midnight?
Probably just about, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think we started this confrontation around like 11 o'clock or a little bit after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it was because we came directly here around sunset, or wandering for a while, so it might be a little bit before that even, but it's well after dark.
Mm-hmm. It's late as fuck. And you all make your way back to home, sweet home, for some cool, spooky building for others. And Rose, are you taking Venti and Borea with you to the tavern?
Yeah, they deserve a break.
Cool.
And plus, I think Bear and Clint also wanted to talk to them. If I'm remembering correctly.
They're sitting here.
Just to meet them.
Mm. Okay. Go ahead and put your token wherever you were sitting. Is that? Clint's not there. Not Clint. Lift's not there. He doesn't know these people. He knows Rosette. Doesn't know them.
I imagine Feyre, I don't know if Clint went ahead and left early once the guards showed up too. But I know Feyre, as soon as the guard showed up, went ahead and wandered off like, you can handle this, even though not all of these like busted chips for you. You're the spectacle heroes. Bye. And probably ended up early at the tavern. And would have let Liff know, since this is more or less after hours.
Okay.
Like, hey, Rose is back, number one. Number two, she's got some buddies that are her crew, question mark?
Yes. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were asking that, but yeah. Friends, crew.
Babysitters,
Yeah.
They have lots of hats. Okay.
And probably has a thing of ale or mead or something for all three of them. By the time they get in.
He breaks back out the glasses that were put away for the night. He takes some leftover bread and just toasts, puts it, and starts up the the fucking like oven just to toast the bread. Warm bread. It's something. We're getting
warm bread and cold ale.
yes. You would hear
Very
Liv,
homey.
yeah. Warm bread, cold ale. You just hear Liv mutter of just like, if I knew about this sooner, we could have had something else, but this is all we have left. Bakery shipment comes in tomorrow. We can have more then.
You ain't
This is all
gotta
they
be,
have now.
you ain't gotta be worrying about nothing. This is just like, I guess, I would say Rose's place, but I'm pretty sure she sold that to Clint. But they don't need anything fancy. They just need something to calm the nerves.
Like turns to Feyre, turns back to the bread. So, should there just be oil as a side?
No, I mean, what were you thinking about doing?
I read somewhere in one of the books Finny left behind that a certain type of oil dipped into bread is a good appetizer.
I mean, I doubt either one of them gonna complain.
Nods.
I mean, Rose might,
like,
but the other two, if they sailors, then sailors gonna eat what a sailor's gonna eat.
Nods, waves of a hand, and like next to you, Feyre, just like a bottle of olive oil is just slowly inching its way down the counter towards where he's setting shit up.
She thinks about moving it for a minute, and then decides better of it. Like he's got a mission in mind. He can handle it.
Am I pulling this from Italian restaurants I've been to with my in-laws? Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oil and some herbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Get
that's
in
what
there.
Lift's trying to make right now because he read it in a fancy restaurant or how to run a restaurant book Finny left one day.
I mean, that shit's good. Bread is good. Nobody's gonna complain about bread.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So Liv's got all of that is going to be prepped by the time the rest of you all get there. Now, did Clint wait for Rosette, or did he go with Feyre?
I would say he probably went with Feyre. He would want to be with Rosette to hang out because she just got back, but he would probably still go with Feyre.
Yeah, the guards are here.
It's more that he just was like, well, Rosette's probably gonna jet and do her own thing again, so I gotta be with me and mine, which is her and him.
Ashley, who came back with you all and immediately went upstairs.
Boy's hiding. Boy's hiding.
Door slam.
Yeah, door slammed. No response.
Feyre just
You guys-
shaking her head. Well, that boy's gonna have to like sort his shit out one day.
No, not necessarily. I didn't sort my shit out, and I turned out great.
Just like looks at Clint, tilts her head. To be fair, your shit's not coming back like every 2 or 3 weeks, and causing you to go hide.
Yet.
Yeah. Who you gonna be hiding from? I thought you liked
I don't
your
know.
brother.
I do like my brother. I don't know if there's someone I met who I would want to hide from in that little hazy period where I kind of forgot stuff.
If it's still Hazy Fury, then how do you know you're gonna be hiding from him? Because you don't remember him.
Oh, I don't.
So you're not gonna be hiding from him.
Maybe.
This back and forth conversation going as Feyre is like pouring drinks. Also, you might want to go grab Winslow and I don't know, shake him to wake him up. At least you want to show him the
Winslow-
rules.
Snore
Winslow
from
doing
behind
that.
the counter.
Yeah, like the gaspy dog snore, just like.
Yeah.
Little gurgly. Clint will go and pick up Winslow. Just doesn't. Who is probably just so knocked out that he just does not care and does not wake up. And it just totally unmoved, unawoken, undisturbed.
The smallest like grumble, like whine and snore as like he shifts and just goes right back to sleep.
Clint will put Winslow, like, probably, like, doesn't want to put him outside because that's mean. He'll put Winslow on, like, part of the bench that's soft in the corner.
That dog
So Winslow
sleeps
can sleep on
enough
the bed.
for the both of you.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I don't sleep nearly as much as I probably did when I was, well, normal.
Okay, I have
Yeah,
to roll
that'll be
it.
good.
Feyre just kind of like pauses, looks over her shoulder. You just get this like eyebrow raise. Normal.
There's a, like, noticeable kind of flinch. He realizes he said normal and then just goes, you know, like, before I got all, he pantomimes, like, punching his head, like, knocking on his skull. And woke up with all, like, little memory bits missing. You know, that's not normal, right?
I mean, that's not normal, but you. I wouldn't say that it's enough to make you not normal. Unless you
Like,
remember a time when you did not act like this.
he pauses and thinks for a minute, just goes, oh, pretty sure I've always been like this.
You're just sets drink down in front of him. See, normal.
He'll take the drink, and just and his immediate thing is not to like take a sip or swig the drink or whatever. He takes it, holds it by the rim, and like with all 5 fingers around it, and we'll just swirl it and make it spin.
That's when Rose comes in with her friends.
Man, you guys left it unlocked?
Yeah.
Mm.
Grace will open the door and kind of knock on the door frame, just kind of announce they're here, and step in.
Fairy just kind of looks over at her and then just like throws her arms out. Just like kind of like this like look gesture. Well, just Trail Skull. At least now it's open.
Wow, you guys have done a lot with the place. She signs.
Actually, 90% of what has been going on around here is, I'm pretty sure, almost 100% due to a small gang of halflings.
Those guys are great. They worked really hard, and for very little recompense.
Don't tell them that, though.
Oh, and you have to meet Winslow, and he will immediately hop up and like grab Rosette by like the edge of her sleeve, and then gently tug until she is walked over here, and then he'll point to Winslow, who is asleep, just on his back, totally knocked out.
Rose has little stars in her eyes as if she could make the noise. She'd be going, "Aww."
Oh,
Can I
Feyre,
pet? Can I pet him? Is he friendly?
He when nods like you can pet him. I don't think he'll remember it though. Or wake up.
I kneel down and try to pet him.
squish him.
Squish. It's a bulldog.
All that floppy extra skin and fur.
Just get the loudest fucking snore.
It started with one-hand pets, but then it turned into two-hand pets and rubs.
Feyre is just walking drinks over to the other two, put him down on the table, kind of like half turns to see Rose petting Winslow. Just like, Ashley's got another one upstairs, I think, and if you like dogs that much, there's about 12 more out back.
Which one are you talking to?
Well, she was talking to Rose with that.
Okay.
She brought
I'm sorry, I
drinks
was
to
looking
the
at your
other two.
token.
Yeah, she brought drinks over there, so she's standing over there, but she looked
Oh,
at
okay.
Rose.
More dogs.
Gives the head tilt in question and signs. That sounds like a story.
A bit more than a story, if I'm gonna be honest, but let's just say we acquired some unwanted guard dogs that are not going to be a part of the troll skulls, part of the charm, from what I'm understanding now. Get served a little bit of ale by a dog with a barrel around his neck.
That's a really unique gimmick.
See? And she like looks very sharply towards the lift, like gesturing towards Rose. Continuing the argument.
Liv is like very, very transparent. Like if you know he's there, you can make him out. But he's very, very easy to miss. And but Fair, you know he's there, and you just see just like his almost invisible figure, just like the gesture of someone lifting their hands up in the air.
Fair just kind of smirks and crosses her arms and just kind of looking between the Ganassi and Rosette and back and forth for a second. So, anybody gonna tell me exactly why there was a space jammer that crashed into the docks? I mean, I'm not gonna complain too much because it was beneficial to us, but not an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really like the part where you crashed into the water and almost hit a bunch of dudes.
You do realize you were almost one of them, right?
Oh, yeah, but I wasn't.
Sorry about that. He kind of gives a sigh, stands back up, and
Don't
goes to
apologize.
move.
I would have done the same thing in your shoes.
Well, it wasn't by choice. Should go and sit down. I think we're all going to sit at a table, or that's what she's kind of thinking.
Oh, this might be a better table over here, actually. Ah, stop, Tony. Bigger table. More people spit.
You know what? It'll be easier this way, and she'll do the psychic connection. Okay. Again, sorry about that. It wasn't intended. Should not have been the one to be driving the thing.
Sorry I hope it wouldn't be intended, because if it was, then that's a pretty piss poor spell jamming.
I would hope it was intended because it was cool.
Well, our initial spelljammer was one of the people that tried to overtake the ship. Trying to get some information about what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Rainier.
Rainier. Trying to get some information about Mr. Rainier. Lord Rainier.
You see Borea lift up her glass that Farah brought her earlier and take a sip. As she kind of nods it towards Rose. In all fairness, she did do a very good job spelljamming. After all.
That was your first time?
He whistles a little bit but nods.
Wow, I'm jealous. Could I spell jam?
Do you have magical capabilities?
Thinks about it for a second. Do bullets count?
I don't think so.
He snaps his fingers and goes, drat.
Wait, so people are just trying to cause some chaos and mutiny just because they're trying to get some information about Rainier from you?
My family has connections with the Never Embers, and for some reason they assumed that we were hiding some kind of what was it? Some kind of hoard of gold or something. I'm sure you've heard the rumors.
Feyre just kind of rolls her eyes and shakes her head. Yeah, that's why I got kidnapped in the first place.
Hmm? They thought that these saboteur. They thought that that we were transporting money to some distant planet. They wanted information. They wanted it.
Feyre just kind of kicks back in her seat for a second, arms crossing, kind of balancing back against her tail. So that is yet again another group that is very determined to find this supposed treasure. Why is everybody all of a sudden all uppity about it?
That's
People
when
will do crazy things for money.
Venti snorts into her drink.
But if it's been a treasure that's been rumored for, I don't know, however long it's been since Rainier's dad was in charge, you'd think that'd just be a constant thing, but now it's several groups all of a sudden out of nowhere, or at least seemingly out of nowhere, deciding to go crazy trying to look for it and causing all types of problems.
Maybe there's some kind of new development in the rumor.
And Feyre just kind of head tilts one way and then the other, like, maybe. Might need to be putting our ears to the ground a little bit, seeing what's going on with that.
Do you think Rainier would know?
I don't think he knows anything in particular. He's already told us he don't know nothing about the horde other than just that there's a rumor going around about it, but no, he's got more connections in the city than we do, so he might have an idea what people are all uppity about it now.
Hmm.
Dabble might too. Fair just kind of looks to the other three for a moment, kind of like brow arch again. So I'm gonna assume that means the three you grounded for now.
I'm sure once my parents hear about this, it'll definitely be the case. She kind of takes her hands, puts them on her, puts her elbows on the table and her head in her hands, like, fuck. This is horrible.
Venti reaches over and just like pat, pat, pat Rosette's shoulder. She's just like, well, cheer up, all right? So you're grounded. It's not the end of the world.
Think about it like this. You could have crashed and died. But
You could have crashed and died. Exactly.
Clint will reach over, like, across the table, and he'll hold his hand out to, the one on the right, who is the...
This is Borea. The one who was just
Borea.
speaking was Venti.
Okay, so Venti, he reaches his hand out to Borea, and Clint is like, he's kind of propped himself up on the table, so his weight is like shifted more on the table, so his feet are hanging. And he'll hold his hand out and be like, I'm Clint, by the way.
She will shake Clint's hand and like a polite nod. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Borea.
Have you known Rosette long?
How long have they fucking known each other?
Since Rosette was little.
Yeah, I was gonna say like long time.
Long time, yeah.
A lot longer than you'd think.
Hmm. And he kind of thinks about it, furrows his brow, doesn't really know what to say to that, and then just nods, and then will hold his hand out to Venti. And also, like, in the same unwavering tone, just be like, I'm Clint. Nice to meet you.
Feyre having to lean further back to get out of his way.
Yep.
And Venti has like a firm handshake. And she introduces. Sorry, again.
No, you go ahead.
No, continue.
Clint he'll nod and he'll say, well, it's a shame you didn't get here before, because, well, Rosette kind of gave me her share of the restaurant. But I'm sure we could work something out. If you wanted to come back to the restaurant, that is. Well, you're grounded.
Rosette is thinking, and she kind of puts her finger to her chin, kind of thing. He gives a slight smile. That actually might be a very good idea.
I narrowed.
How would you all like an investor?
Feyre just sighs. And Troll's Gold Men at the fucking House of Runaway Nobles, apparently.
I can assure you, I am not a runaway.
So you're gonna go tell your mom and dad what happened?
I mean, it's gonna get to them eventually anyways. Be easier if I soften them up.
Feyre just
Please soften him up.
Feyre just like goes to like lifts one hand from where it's like crossed across her chest. And there's like gesture of like see. You only wanted to dump some money into this place. I'm not gonna argue with you and say no, but goddamn, we gotta stop having runaway nobles.
Look, it's just an excuse, okay? It doesn't have to be anything official. It'd just be a lot better than being trapped on the Olivia grounds.
Wait, does that make you a temp worker?
A very quick snort and chuckle from Feyre.
Yes, you could put it that way.
Clint, like, brings his hand back to his face and just rubs his chin in a very exaggerated manner, and then he'll say, well, I guess I could be a benevolent boss. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I'm a pretty chill guy.
She puts her hand to her mouth and covers her mouth and she's laughing.
Feyre just like kind of like watching Clint for a second, and then you get the very quick kind of evil glint in her eyes, and she just snatches his hat and puts it on her own head again. Benevolent boss. Yeah, sure. Looks towards the other two. Now we're wearing Clint's hat. You two got a place to go.
Just to clarify, you are talking to the NPCs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Disclaimer. Apparently, weird vibe Amy can't really do NPC voices for some reason. Like, it's not connecting. So, apologies. I'll do my best next time.
This fine.
You're doing fine.
Okay.
No worries.
But, Bora just, like, tilts her head a bit, looks at Venti, turns back. We have one on the Levier grounds. Over in Seaward.
You ain't related, right? Just kind of like motioning to the two of them and Rosette. Because I'm sorry, you ain't blue.
She laughs. No, we're not related. They've just been my personal guards for a very long time.
Venti pipes up. You know, we do a good enough of a job that we have our own place on the grounds. But we still kind of got to babysit her constantly, too, so there's that. Babysit, technically. Technically.
Rosette gives a playful word.
Is it really babysitting? And Boria just like cuts in with a, we have to be near her at all times, but we choose to give her more freedom than her parents want us to.
Hence why she ditched y'all to go chasing after Ashley when she found out he was here. I said, hence why she ditched them to come chasing after Ashley.
What my parents don't know won't hurt them.
Just a little whistle. It's like, whistle and just like this very, like, yeah, that's some bullshit face.
I don't think I can take care of myself, and yes, it's nice having Gloria and Zenti here in case things get hairy, like on the ship. But I am quite capable.
Clint, like, pauses for a second, tilts his head. Do we have to clean that up? I don't want to clean it up.
I think my family will be discussing that with the guard. Probably gonna have to pay some fines.
Some?
Hand wave.
That's at least 5 ships. Perfectly good ships, by the way. That got wrecked in that crash. Like, do you have any idea the sailing those things had left on them? And they're just gone. Driftwood.
To be fair, some of them ships were not necessarily wrecked by the Spelljammer. That might have been a little bit more my doing, but I didn't get the money for that. So if the estate wants to spend that money fixing that shit, then they can fix it for me.
I just don't want to clean it up. I'll give him however much money I can fit in my pockets, which is not that much.
Honestly.
Fair looks towards Clint, shakes her head. The money you getting is also the money that I'm getting. We're getting. You ain't giving it to them. They got enough money.
He shrugs his shoulder and just goes, well, you say so. Guess they're not getting any money or work out of me. I like this arrangement better.
I'm sure my family will speak to the Neverembers and those who assaulted us and sort it out that way. See who's at fault.
You do realize that they're going to want you to talk to Rania.
That shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, considering that he ends up showing up here every few days at least.
That's convenient.
Fair just, again, gestures around the tavern. We may not be as big as the On the Border, but we are definitely one of the more lively taverns that are in town now. And that's good and bad, if I'm gonna be honest.
Good for business, bad for subtlety.
And good for keeping some friends around, but also bad because we're going to have a lot of people that we don't necessarily like around here.
True. On the first night, we actually had some weird, suspicious, culty-looking guy and his 2 cronies. But then one of them ended up getting really sentimental and started crying. It was funny.
That's posh because you told fucking Archie to shoot him with an arrow.
He nods and just goes, yeah, that's true. We should have him around more too. But only to shoot arrows at stuff.
Arrows?
There's a lot you missed.
Sounds like it.
You want the long version or the short version?
Well, I don't want to go home anytime soon.
Fair just kind of like nods her head slightly, looks towards the 2 Ganassi, kind of eyes them up for a second, and then like over her shoulder, just like towards the bar, just calls towards Liff, like, hey, we might need to get a double room up there, set up for these people. I think it's gonna be a long night.
You just hear clinking of glasses and stuff. As he's like, Yeah, there's one ready. I'll get it ready. And you just see just like a floating plate of toasted bread and like a small bowl of herby oil float before landing on the table in front of everyone. As Lift just like slowly became less and less transparent as he dropped them gently.
Feyre just watches the Ganassi very carefully.
You see Venti stare at Lift. You see Borea stare at Lift. Venti looks down at her drink. She slides it over to Borea. And then Borea just sighs and just slides the drink back. She's like, "You're not seeing things. This is real. I think."
Don't
Just
worry,
like,
he's real friendly, if not a bit too uptight about cleaning.
Rosette will sign thank you to Liff and take a bit of bread.
fucking Clint, you say that, and he's just like, "It's not uptight to not leave your boots on the table. We serve guests on these tables."
Yeah, and my boots are clean. I didn't even kick anybody today.
Are his boots on the table right now?
No,
Okay. Okay.
he is still kind of like perched, holding himself, like his legs kind of dangling.
Isn't he missing a boot?
Oh,
Yeah, he is missing one boot.
Inventory loss. One boot.
Get it back eventually.
He just sighs, just like, "Yeah, I had to scrub a boot print off of one of the tables this morning before we opened. So you could just, put them on the shoe rack that I put in your room where they're
Well, why would
supposed
I
to
put them
be,
on the shoe rack if I'll have to put them on my feet?
so that they don't go on the table."
He makes a face like his expression is something akin to like the numbers don't add up. I don't know about that.
It's like, Lift just like squats down a little bit, eye levels with Clint. "If I find your boot on the table again, I'm hiding it. And you're never gonna find it.
I only got one of those now.
Tread carefully."
Tread. Oh, I get it. You're pretty funny for a dead guy.
Feyre just slowly, like, hand rubbing over face.
Pat Clint on the shoulder. It's very light and cold touch.
Tapped by ice.
And like a breeze goes through like Clint's hair, like ruffling. He says, "Humor isn't dead."
And now Feyre's face is on the table.
The like sheer like grin of delight Liv has on his face at seeing Feyre suffering is incredible.
I'm gonna lock you in a fucking salt circle at some point.
Who else is gonna make sure that the tavern's clean? You can't do that. We also don't have enough salt.
Feyre, see one of Feyre's like pointy ears kind of twitch, and then head slowly raise, so that her eye is poking out over an arm, staring at Liff. You won't bet.
What? I mean, I did inventory this morning. You can't tell me we have enough salt. We don't.
Salt's not that expensive. I'm pretty sure I can use a little bit of magic to pull some salt right out of the ocean. Won't be that hard.
I mean, this economy, salt, it's gone up in price.
Just there is an evil grin on Feyre's face. She has found something that at least on some level worries Liv.
Oh no, fuck, I ripped my blanket.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's fine. let me. Okay. Lift just like leans back, arms kind of just like in like a shrug motion. And she's like, if you want to waste your effort, no, that's on you. But it's a waste of money and time. But I have important stuff to do, like get these rooms settled, so I'm gonna go and do that. And he like starts to drift away a bit and like disappear from sight. And Feyre, you feel like your boots are stuck to the fucking ground.
Wait, what did he do?
He essentially just like your boots are just stuck to the ground, kind of like ice on the bottom of them.
Ice. Oh boy.
It's kind of like they've kind of just like almost it's almost like they were glued in like the 10 seconds he took to speak. But like whatever position Feyre's boots are in, they're kind of stuck there for the time being.
Feyre just kind of leans back a little bit, looks at her boots, looks rather unimpressed, and shakes her head. And then looks towards Venti and Borea and gestures in the direction that Liv like floated off. That'll be Liv. He lives here. He's a little shit, but he lives here. He calls after him.
You feel one of your boots just slide a little further than you want it to be. Still stuck. It's a very interesting relationship. You have that.
He don't do no harm to nobody really, other than just being annoying, but this was his place first. Figured might as well treat it like he's just another owner. And benefit, he can't really leave here, so when we go wandering off doing things, he makes sure everything's still running.
Well, that's convenient. And then you see Venti just slam her drink down. Finished. And she's like, okay, are all ghosts like that?
No idea.
Oh, have I met another ghost?
Turns to Rosette. Alright, Rosie. Have you met ghosts? You haven't met ghosts before, but can we look for more ghosts? Because I've got a couple ideas now.
I mean, you can do that in your free time.
But then I wouldn't be getting paid. Do you see the problem?
Is there somewhere in particular you would like to go?
I mean, I hear the City of Dead might be haunted.
City of the Dead. That also sounds very dangerous.
It's fine. We'll just go in, look for more ghosts. You know, I'll leave. Maybe find ghosts, maybe don't. If we find them, they might be like him. We could ask them some questions.
I wonder what happens if you push a ghost and a zombie together. Do you think it makes a person?
Feyre just kind of like tilts her head slightly. I mean, On one hand, maybe. On the other hand, probably not.
Do you know where we could get a zombie to test it out? If we find another ghost, we find a zombie, we could test it.
Clint opens his mouth and then just goes, hmm. Never mind. I don't know where to get a zombie.
Don't necessarily know that I want to be going looking for no zombies anyway.
Yeah, zombies are notoriously hard to control. They're coming back alive and all.
Right, that's why we're not going to be going zombie hunting or ghost hunting. We're not doing that.
You could just talk to Lith, you know.
You see Borea look at you, Rose, and look of like, do you really want to subject him to that?
Rose just smiles.
You're more cruel than I thought. Okay.
If you guys make our ghost disappear and fuck off, you are taking his place and you are gonna be working here. And working here for free.
Is asking questions really that bad?
I don't know what happened to the questions I wanted to ask. From the looks on their faces, I don't think it's something I necessarily want Liv to be dealing with.
You see Venti just like sighs and like slumps in her chair. Alright, there goes, the ghost hunting dream. Alive for 2 minutes. New record. Guess I'll just stick being a sailor and a babysitter.
Hey, being a sailor ain't that bad.
No, it's pretty good.
You guys are space sailors, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, technically.
That would be right, both technically, but lately it's been mostly space.
Get just a little wrinkle of the nose from Feyre as she takes a swig of her drink. Doesn't say anything. Not super thrilled at the idea of space sailing, though.
Shrug. You get used to it.
Views are pretty nice.
What'd you say?
The views are pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty nice of you still on the water out here. But, anyway. Feyre just looked towards Clint. I guess it's about time we start filling her in on everything that's happened.
Oh, should we start with the weird monster thing that impersonated someone you knew? Or maybe, should we start with the love arrows? I like the more exciting parts first, so I kind of want to start with the monster, but if you're thinking more, chronological, that is probably the more sensible way to tell a story.
We'll start with arrows, but before that, you were poking around like you knew the monster was there before we came around the corner.
Oh, well, I thought I heard something.
Heard what?
He kind of stares. He was looking at Feyre when he spoke, and then in this moment, his eyes just kind of fixate on some absent part of space, and he stares into the middle distance for a second and just goes, "Oh, I thought I heard my brother." For a second.
So that thing sounds like stuff you knew as well.
He looks up and then kind of nods. That seems to be the way of things, isn't it? They impersonate someone you personally know, and they try to use it against you. Clever
Figures.
beasties.
Makes a face and shakes her head. Just turns to the other three. Hand wavy info dump of the current arc.
All right. Iris, are you up to speed on what's happening?
I know about the Love Festival
Mhm.
and emotions, essentially negative emotions. If they run rampant, they will make it so you don't have those emotions in the next year or until the next festival. Y'all are working with Archer to fix that.
And also had a deal with him that extra arrows we get to sell.
I didn't know about that part.
We originally got tasked to go hunting for arrows that they were being shot at people that made them go, like, an archer that shot arrows that immediately disappeared every year.
Yeah.
And we got tasked to go find those arrows. That's how we found Archer initially. And then after we caught him and talked to him and he like unveiled everything, he made a deal that if he has extra arrows at the end of the day and we help him out, he'll give us the extra arrows so that then we can turn around and sell it to what's her face.
Corey.
Corey.
Okay.
So we in the business of profit on top of doing good things.
Mm-hmm.
And this was night 2 of fighting beasties.
This was night 3.
But night 2 of fighting the beasties.
Yeah,
like I
night 2
said.
of fighting the beasties. Sorry, they're talking about during the week.
Mhm.
This was day 3 of the festival, night 2 of fighting the beasties.
And Feyre will admit that, like, the first night she heard an old friend of hers crying out for help. And that's how they ran into the thing. She will not really explain what happened to the coins other than just they're taken care of.
Does Feyre mention Riptide at all?
I think the most she would say is like after like bringing up the coins of like, yeah, I have a friend that's taking care of the coins for us.
Can you explain the coins to me? Because I don't know anything about that.
So when you kill the monsters, coins are dropping, and from what we gather from the coins, they are what is being used to like summon or anchor these demons.
Okay.
So like every time we've killed one, it's dropped 3 coins, and both times first time Feyre picked them up and took them to Riptide. Second time she just washed them out to the ocean for Riptide. Because at least as far as she's concerned, that's a little bit safer than anything else she can figure out to do right now.
Got it.
And also, I guess Phil rose in the fact that Ashley is being hunted. Or will be hunted in the near future. Are you aware of that?
I was not.
You said you're not?
I was,
Was
not
not-
aware of that.
But now is.
Mm-hmm. That Queen Titania is after Ashley again. And so Ashley is wearing a no peeky amulet to keep her from scrying on him.
Mhm.
But he has to be wearing that amulet to stop that from happening.
excuse me. Do you also know about Clint's? He would also tell them about his weird vision type stuff he's been having in regards to the um his weird amulet. If you don't know about that yet.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So we just making sure Clint is still not telling anybody about what he saw in the mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to expound on the amulet shit for Iris.
Yes. So the amulet. So Clint has an amulet that he hasn't really brought up or mentioned until it became like very apparent that he was wearing it. And basically, it compels him to do two things: to keep it on, and not want to take it off. He is very very strongly compelled to keep it on. The other thing it does is it forcibly puts him under the effect of essentially the alter self spell, the second level alter self spell, and it gives him the appearance of a humanoid person, like a vaguely normal looking person of his appropriate height, size, and gender. It doesn't drastically alter his appearance so that he appears as another race. He just appears as his normal race, but under a specific sort of way. He does know what he looks like with. He has taken the necklace off, but he hasn't told anyone that yet.
Okay.
But everyone at least knows that he is currently with the necklace and what it is currently doing to him. And even jokingly asking him to take it off or reaching for it makes Clint visibly flinch away from the person who is reaching.
Which, unfortunately, Feyre has become the person that's just like, yeah, it's just faster to show you, and we'll reach for the necklace.
Yeah, and immediately there's like Clint recoils and pulls back. And if we're fucking doing it, I wanna fucking roll because Clint is gonna try to snatch his hat back. He's been waiting like a viper. He'll just go like you reach out and then in like two quick flashes he turns and like tuck and rolls around the necklace and will swipe at the hat and then like roll onto the ground in like a little somersault move.
So, sleight of hands versus acrobatics.
Hell yeah!
That's,
Am I
that's what
writing?
I'm thinking, yeah.
I'm rolling sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's fucking go!
Let's see Fairy's acrobatics.
There we go.
Hey!
He grabs it, tucks and rolls, and you like normally when Clint is like shying away from the necklace, he gets like a very very intense look of like almost distress. But as this time as he does that, he rolls away, grabs the hat, and somersaults onto the ground. So he's like on the floor and he's clutching his hat in his hands, and you can hear him just like he. Gotcha.
Feyre just kind of like watching for a second. You see her like tail kind of moving, kind of like a cat for a second. She's thinking, and then she just shakes her head, just like okay, amused smirk, and just gestures towards Clint. Like, see.
Clint, you're laying on the floor?
He is crouching on the floor, like snickering to himself and clutching his hat to his chest and the necklace. But he will enjoy his little victory. Oh, Winslow!
Winslow licks Clint's face.
Oh, hi there, buddy. Did you have a good sleep?
You get like a sneeze in his face.
Gross. And he'll wipe the snot off of his face and then just give Winslow really, really aggressive pet. He says gross, by the way, and he is still smiling. Like it's an affectionate gross. It's not an upset gross.
Gross, affectionate. Again, starts petting Winslow. All right, time to plop. Hear the thunk of Winslow plopping down.
Clint puts on his hat and then is quickly drawn to his duty as the Winslow keeper and pets Winslow.
Yeah, you've lost him. Happy huffs and snorts. The second that he stops, even just for a second, you guys just hear a whine. Does that conclude the catch-up conversation, which I imagine took place over a couple hours?
Mm. Unless there's very
All
specific
the
questions from the NPCs or Rose.
Rose would be interested in what's happening.
On what?
What happened with Ashley? How you guys exactly knew that he was being hunted?
Ashley has a pocket fairy. That fairy that came to warn him, and because she came to warn him, is now probably gonna end up in a very bad situation if she tries to go back to the Feywild. So she is currently living in Ashley's pocket.
Not in his pocket.
In his pocket.
She's taken a shelf in his room.
And you won't trust her?
Let's just put it this way. You know Clint? She, like, gestures towards Clint. It's like, she's a 3-inch version of Clint.
And like shuffles so that he is on the other side of Winslow facing the group. And he will like continue scratching and he just goes, little version of me. You think so?
In a way, yeah.
I wonder if she could have like a little tiny little 6-shooter or something. Gotta get her something like that. I bet she'd like it.
All you roll perception.
Oh, boy.
Nope. Quinta's thinking about little gun. Damn.
My passive 16.
Oh my god. Don't worry. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Well, that was a misclick. I'm not counting the misclick. It's funnier this way. As you guys are talking about this, Rosette, at the corner of your eye, you see movement, right? Over by the, behind the bar, all of the liquor bottles that are lined up there, all of the barrels of ale and mead that are on display, and some of them tapped. And you see movement, and as your eyes, like, follow the movement, Rosette, you make eye contact with a very, very tiny fairy currently trying to move a big bottle, well, a regular sized bottle for you, but compared to her size, a giant, colossal sized bottle of honey wine And as you make eye contact, she freezes, and then she kind of like jumps away from the bottle, and she bumps into a glass, and it falls to the ground and shatters, and that gets Clint and Feyre's attention.
Feyre's head just whips around and sees Sprinkle, I'm assuming freezing at this point.
Hands are upright, like I've been caught. Hands are vertically up.
Eye narrows. See, this is why you don't do that type of stuff. Liv is gonna kill you.
So this is perfect because Clint, when he heard the glass shatter, he whips over the countertop in a firing position with both hands on his gun, and then sees Sprinkle and just goes, "Oh, just you."
She fucking screams and like darts behind the bottle of honey wine she was trying to pull.
Just
False
You're a
alarm.
coward, huh?
Feyre just like sighs, gets up, starts making her way behind the counter. If I could pick Sprinkle up by the scruff, by the back of the shirt, carries her
Okay.
back over.
I'm really sorry about, the whole breaking glass. I really didn't mean to. Please don't shoot me. I really don't want to be shot. It's a really, big bullet.
Clint will like spin the gun around on his finger and do a couple of like twirls and then stick it in the holster. And then he'll just be like, "I would never shoot you unless you did something wrong to Ashley or any of my other friends, in which case I would shoot you without hesitation. I just thought you were a home invader."
I don't know if that should make me feel better. You said you picked her up?
Yeah, picked her up, took her back over to the table, plopped her down in front of her.
I think I should clean up after the glass before Liv finds it. I don't want him to find it.
And as she is saying that, Feyre just like gestures both hands towards her, looks towards the other three. See?
Rose looms in over Sprinkle, staring really hard.
Is Rose wearing the necklace Ashley gave her?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. See Sprinkle's eyes dart down to like the necklace, dart back up to Rose, look around. If anyone is trying to read Sprinkle at this moment, if you have a reason to try to get a gauge on her, you can roll insight.
Unfortunately, Feyre is not paying that much attention to Sprinkle. She's looking at the others.
I want to roll insight because I think Clint would not have a good insight. But he is more examining Sprinkle to make sure that Sprinkle is not super worried. Yeah. So yeah, Clint looks at Sprinkle and is just like, "Yep, they're fine."
Why?
Quick thing, just to make sure before you announce if it passed or not, because I assume it did pass. I think I have an ability to add a bonus to it.
I'm not. Feyre is not participating in this, but I want to roll to see, because those two are so bad. just to see. Nope.
Wow! A 4 and 2 1s. At least it's not a -1 like Clint's.
Hey, I like my 0. That's one of my favorite kind of zeros.
Yo, just wait till you roll a -1.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so when I fail an ability check using a skill or tool, which I have proficiency, I can roll one psionic energy die
Mhm.
and add that number. Is
Roll.
that okay?
Yeah, good.
Okay. 56. 13.
13. Ooh. That just makes it. Rosette, everyone else is just like, yeah, this is Sprinkle, nothing to worry about, as she's like trying to like calm down from getting a gun pointed at her again. This is like what, the second time today?
Mm.
And she like looks over the two Genasi, and then her eyes land on Rosette, and her eyes are just like go down to the spark to like the necklace around her neck, and then back up to Rosette's eyes, and you just see that she does a double take. Before she like continues to make eye contact. She's very small. You notice that she did a double take at seeing the necklace. Almost like she's seen it before.
I am going to assume that Sprinkle does not know Thieves' Camp.
Okay.
So, first of all, does Sprinkle look like she's about
Look like she's about to what?
to run or bolt?
She's kind of plopped on the table.
Yeah,
I assume next to Feyre's glass.
Yeah, like in front of Feyre, and Feyre has not has, I think, out of most everybody, Feyre has not been outwardly hostile to her ever.
No.
The only thing she,
What are you talking about?
the most she has ever done was like, you're really, really hyper, take a few laps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, she's chilling.
What do you mean? Oh, I've never been hostile to her in my life.
Keep telling yourself that.
Rose will send to Farah, please don't let her run away. But as she pulls out her notepad and starts writing.
Feyre just kind of like looks over, watches Rose for a second, looks towards Sprinkle, and just kind of gestures towards Rose. She can't really talk, so she's gonna have to write down a few things for you.
Oh, okay. Does she need help? Do you want me to get like some fancy pens I saw Ashley had? I saw some like really, really fancy ones that I think would look really pretty. And I can get like sparkly paper.
I think she's good with what she got, but you might want to tell me where Ashley's got all them fancy pens.
They're on his bookshelf. I'm actually rearranged his top shelf so I could have a little place on it. I had to move the fancy pens to the bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf.
I hope he doesn't mind.
No, I'm sure he's not going to mind.
I did find that. She like stage whispers after like looking around her shoulder. So, I found pink sparkly paper that Liv had in the closet.
Eyebrow raise. Like sheets of paper or like big paper?
Well, for me, it's a very big paper.
Feyre just kind of like pauses, nods, like I see my mistake, and will like hold out, like roughly measure what she's meaning.
She like holds out her hand. It's a 8x11.
Gotcha.
Normal size sheet of paper. And I think that would look really, really pretty with the fancy pens I would like to borrow from Ashley.
It's just mischievous smirk has started on Feyre's face again.
I have another idea too. What if we use that sparkly paper and the fancy pens and we can make paper menus?
if we ever have enough things on the menu to actually have a real menu, maybe. Not for a while though. We only got like what, 5, 6 things on the menu, aside from drinks, and then people usually know what they want with drinks.
Well, don't restaurants have multiple things? Multiple menus? And then they change depending on the day, right?
Yeah, we'll workshop it.
She nods. Right. I'm still gonna use the paper though. There's a lot of it. I don't know why he had so much.
I'm sure we'll be able to find out at some point. Just kind of starts leaning over to like read over Rosette's shoulder.
Rose was patiently waiting while they talked, and she essentially wrote. She said she wrote an introduction for herself. So, my name is Rosette. Um, Pleasure to meet you. I was curious as to how you know Ashley, and why is it you risked yourself to come here to warn them?
Oh. Well, it's really nice to meet you, Rosette. Your hair is really, really pretty. Anyway, I have known Ashley for a long time. I have seen him a lot, and I've heard him perform a lot, and he always looked a little sad. So, I didn't really like when other people were mean to him. I thought it was very rude. But I warned him because I thought it was the right thing to do, because he was always very polite when I met him. It was mostly in passing. I deliver messages.
Is that your job or something?
It is, or it was, I think.
What do you plan on doing now?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure that out, and I think starting with the paper is a plan. The sparkly paper, I can try to make pretty things. I really like paper. It might have to do with being a messenger, so I might do that here.
I'm sure you would be a great messenger here in Waterdeep. I know, I'm sure I could find you a job if you'd like one.
I wouldn't want to impose.
She kind of gives a soft and kind smile. Also, buttering up smile.
I really wouldn't want to impose and trouble you.
It wouldn't be imposing at all. I just want to assist someone who helps someone dear to me.
Rosette, how close attention are you paying to her?
Very. I am, my full attention is on her. Trying to be kind and seem benevolent. And
as you say that, you see that for a fraction of a second, if you weren't staring at her like a fucking hawk, you would have missed it. But as Rosette says, someone near and dear to her, Sprinkle's eyes dart down to the necklace again. Before she slowly nods and stands up and stretches. It's like, well, work is work, and well, if you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't say no to getting my foot in the door on doing something. That's not redecorating Ashley's shelf for the 4th time today.
perfect. I'll talk to my family about this. I couldn't help but notice you looking at my necklace. Do you like it?
It's really pretty.
Hmm. Is that all? It seems familiar to you.
It's a really, really pretty necklace. And really sparkly. So I thought it was pretty, and I saw it.
Can I try to intimidate her?
Sure.
Oh.
Can I want to assist, even though Clint is not intentionally trying to be intimidating. I want to
Yes.
assist by Clint, like, casually taking off his holster and taking his gun out and setting it on the table.
Yeah, he's just like redoing his belt because it's starting to slip.
Yeah.
Sprinkle sees it as an oh my god.
It's an assist that is not like him at all being aware of it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, Rosette is doing the smile, but then the menacing aura smile that you see in anime.
You can
So-
roll with advantage from Clint accidentally helping.
And
Okay.
sets his gun down, also seeing Sprinkle, makes brief eye contact and smiles earnestly.
Woo! Yo!
Sheesh!
Thank you for the assist, Clint.
Sprinkle shits.
Rosette,
This poor
hearing-
fucking fairy.
Rosette, hearing Clint set his gun down, glances at him, then back at Sprinkle, as if to give the because yeah, I have friends that are willing to
Does she
assist me
say
here.
anything with that intimidation?
She asked her question.
What was your question again? I forgot. I got distracted by the
Does
map.
she recognize it essentially?
Mm-hmm. Sprinkle looks at Rose. She kind of like leans away from Rose for a second, and then like clunk goes the fucking gun right next to her on the table.
Clint just smiles, pats her on the head, steps to the side.
Sprinkle turns to look at Rosette again. There's like her wings kind of beat for a second of like a twitch. And Farah would see that she kind of just like wipes her brow with like the back of her hand. She's starting to sweat. What's Farah's reaction to all of this?
Fair is just like was only kind of half paying attention to the conversation at first. Once she like looked over, okay, introduction. How do you know Ashley? Okay, just fucking normal conversation. The same stuff that we were like bothering her about. It was just like sipping on her drink, minding her own business for a second. Sees, like, feels the shift of Rose beside her. Looks over just in time to see her glance at Clint. Looks towards Clint, then looks down to Sprinkle and sees her, like, panicking. And will just kind of slowly place an arm down on the table. In some cross between, like, okay, don't fly away because you're freaking out. But also, like, blocking the direction of like Clint's holster. It just kind of like turned towards Rose with this like arch of a brow of just like, what the fuck is going on?
Does Rosette hold strong?
Rosette holds strong.
She wants her answers. Okay. Sprinkle relaxes a little bit at the holster being like pointed away from her.
Yeah, she doesn't touch the holster. It's just like where it's sitting on the table, there is now an arm between her and the
Yeah.
holster.
Yeah, there's just like a barrier. She's like, okay. Not as terrified, but very menacing aura coming from this lady she just met. And she kind of just like runs like a finger through her hair, and you see her wings still kind of twitch a bit as like her hands are kind of shaky. And she just like looks over to Rosette. It's like, it's really, really pretty, and well, it's. I might have seen something similar, maybe. It's a really pretty necklace. I see pretty jewelry all the time because I like the sparkly things and how they look. I might have seen something similar one day. Because, well, sparkly things are really nice to look at.
Sprinkle, I think you're going to want to breathe there, because I think you're starting to hyperventilate.
Right! I'm supposed to breathe. Right. Thanks for reminding me.
Rosette casts a mage hand to write for her while staring at Sprinkle, and in very clear writing writes "where?" question mark.
Well, I'm from the Feywilds. I've never left before now. So in there, I've seen similar things. Pretty jewelry is common there.
How do I word this? Where in the savings? Who has it?
You see, as you write "where" in the Feywild, Sprinkle just kind of like tilts their head as they're like, that's kind of a tricky question. Things are kind of constantly moving there. It's less of a where and more of a when.
Sprinkle.
Underline.
Who? That's a good question.
Feyre just like puts her hand on top of the pad, looks down to Sprinkle. This is gonna be a lot faster if you stop like talking around circles. She'll leave you alone, I promise.
She like looks at the who, the underlined. She gulps. Queen Titania has it.
Isn't that used to be hers? Or
It looks really similar to the ring Ashley came in with. The one Queen Titania took from him. And last time I saw her, she was wearing it.
He was wearing it.
Nod.
Like, she mouths the words.
one finger pat on head.
She sinks down and plops. Deep breaths.
Amy, there was that second ability that the rings had.
Can you remind me?
Basically being able to communicate with each other.
Fucker no.
Yeah, there is that second ability about it.
We can't handle the fucking archfey.
I rolled a 2.
Do it.
Oh,
She might not have it.
She's gonna try and connect to it.
Fucking sacrifice Ashley and Rosette.
You connect to it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think now is a good time for a little break. Like, 5-minute break.
We're not gonna finish Dragon
5-minute
Heist.
break.
I hope you know that.
That's why I've named this campaign Gold Rush. It's my version of Dragon Heist.
We can't handle the fucking archfey, and I think it's gonna be really hard to push Titania into the water for Riptide, so that's not gonna work.
Listen, I'm here for the story. It'd be no fun if you guys just got, murdered by someone too powerful for you guys.
It's gonna be fine.
So, I'm not just gonna... If you guys skip to the boss fight, I'm not just gonna kill you guys. We're making a story somehow. It's gonna be dramatic, whichever way you guys fucking go.
Hell yeah.
I will say, Iris, I'd like to request you into the murder TV room real quick.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's
All right.
gonna be
It's gonna be fine. It's all a
wild.
good time.
Well,
I hope you don't mind Feyre picking on Clint.
I don't. I don't. A lot of the time, I don't know how Clint would react, because he'd be like, "I want my hat back," but I can't just ask for it back because she won't give it back. That's cheating. You gotta steal it back fair and square. And the only way he can reasonably steal it back from Feyre is if he's like, he's gotta strike fast.
Arguing with Clint doesn't work like it does with Lift. But apparently stealing the hat works.
Stealing the hat. If you could steal his hat and his coat, that would be the kicker. But it's a lot harder to get the coat off the man.
Ooh, you know what we need to talk to Amy about? We need to see if there's some way that if Clint and Feyre put their heads together and spend a little bit of time, could manage to get one blast of the fucking blunderbuss to be enchanted like one of his bullets.
Oh, that would be so fucking... That'd be stupid busted strong. That'd be a great... What would be a good bullet for that? Hold on, let me look at my bullets.
I don't know how this subclass is structured for you, but I imagine the only one it would be possible would be ones that he has access to early on. If there's he can't get certain ones until certain levels.
So technically, this isn't part of his subclass. This is his unique item.
Ah.
And he has access to all of the schools, but he can only have a number of bullets equal to his int mod at any given time, and he cannot have duplicates. He can only have one of each. He has one for every school, not counting like chronergy and graviturgy. But he has one for every school, and I'm trying to think of how it would interact with because the blunderbuss is like a spread. It's not like an actual.
Well, there's two functions to the blunderbuss. Either I can do a lower damage cone attack, or I can shoot it kind of like a standard blunderbuss is supposed to be shot in the rules as written, where it's a higher damage single target, and then Dex saves from those within 5 feet of that target, and they take a lower amount of damage if they fail the Dex saves.
That's cool.
That one is dependent on there being a tight grouping for it to be at all worth it. Because the side effect is because of all the fun stuff with the multi-classing, I do not have any of the gunslinger feats. So reloading is a thing for me.
I see. You know what would be pretty funny? I don't think that this would be perfect in terms of action economy, but I like the idea of Feyre having, rather than reloading a gun, using one of the guns she has on her person, and then just tossing it over her shoulder to Clint, or yeeting it to Clint, just reload this, and just moving on and
using another one.
Yeah, just doing the Reaper thing, and then Clint just runs by, grabs it, reloads it fast, and then hands it back to her. It'd be super. It's super not efficient, but I love the idea of she's like, I don't reload fast enough. Clint does. He'll do it.
She has enough guns to try to do that shit. She's got 2 or 3 now, and she's getting another one, I think.
Hell yeah. I like Clint's gimmick being the one gun. It's his favorite little single 6-shooter pistol.
I imagine Feyre likes firearms, but she doesn't, because she started off with and likes her blunderbuss the best. There's just not that many opportunities for her to use the blunderbuss, and thus she is just not used to using the firearm 90% of the time. She fucking forgets that she has the pistol on her.
So soon.
Hey.
I just wanted to go over a contract real quick, talk some keys.
Cross the eyes.
Wait, not the eyes, cross the chest.
I thought you were doing that intentionally.
I wasn't. You gotta remember it. Amy's a little crisscrossed.
See,
today.
just own the flubs and we won't notice. So how dead are we?
Really. You guys are fine. You guys are in your tavern. You're safe and sound.
We're
This is your
fine.
home base. Weren't you the one who said this is the most well-protected tavern in all of Waterdeep?
Yeah.
Not
Sorry.
against fucking Titania.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
It's
We
fine.
just want to invite her in.
She's
No
not a
fairy queens
vampire. She's not a vampire.
Well, she's also not rude.
True.
You think.
But then again, different definitions of rude. Alright. You guys ready to hit play? Iris, are you ready? I know you said you wanted a minute for some stuff.
Yeah, just give me a quick second.
Okay, cool. I am gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I need to as well.
Yeah.
And we're still good for Cyberpunk on Friday, right, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna riot.
No, right. No Rito.
I was telling Amy earlier. Have you heard of the program Obsidian?
No, I have not.
I think I'm gonna start using that to try and I've hit a point in my Spelljammer note taking that I need, like, there's things I need to write down and like keep track of, but I need to be able to like connect them to each other so it's easier for me to find shit rather than just like a big long list. And so I think I've seen some advertisements for Obsidian and it's free. And it's kind of like OneNote in some ways, but it has some additional functions, including making like mind webs and word webs and stuff.
Ooh.
It's like that big jumble of nodes with all the lines and everything. So I'm hoping I can manage to use that to continue getting all of my shit in order. So maybe one day in the future, it won't be waiting 10 minutes for me to find the file I need.
You won't have to have 40 tabs.
Just open that program up and follow the trail that I'm looking for.
Hell yeah. See, I this is why I prefer books, because books, I don't have to have a tab. I can just open the book up in front of me.
But all the stuff I'm using is not in book form.
True.
It's not an option.
Oof.
Plus, it'll also be easier. I am hoping to, like, maybe by next year have a desktop so I can have multiple monitors, which will be so much nicer. If I had 2 monitors, I would not have nearly as many problems as I have. Monitors are fucking expensive, man.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks trying to buy, like, having a base one and then trying to buy one at a later date, because they usually never match, because they stop production on some and start it up on other ones, or change the model that you had. And I am forever bothered by mismatched monitors.
See, I don't have that particular brand of OCD. Nothing I have matches anything.
The worst.
I
Hate it.
I live by the, like, idea of my eventual house one day down the line is just gonna fucking look like the stereotypical, like, anime magic shop where it's just a whole bunch of random shit and nothing seems to match, nothing goes together. It's just shit. A whole bunch of things all over the walls, in the drawers, on the shelves. And only I will know where anything is. Or what anything does.
Oh.
Get used to it, my dude.
Incredibly cursed.
You'll have to suffer it eventually. One day I'm gonna fucking host a game for people to come and visit and play for a weekend.
That would be mad hype.
You are responsible for buying or bringing your own booze, though.
I will bring my own booze in, and I will bring snacks.
Did you make a hero forge for Clint?
I'm back. Hello.
I did, but you know what? I haven't been on Hero Forge in a while. They've probably updated a lot of stuff.
And make a request for a hero forge from Feyre. Next time your
Ooh,
ADHD hyperfixates in that direction.
creative time. Do I have one? I do have one for Clint. It's not. It doesn't look very done, but that's okay. I can finish this.
Are you struggling with life right now, Amy?
My blanket's stuck on my armrest.
Yep, struggling with life.
Okay, there we go. Some fucker chewed a hole in the blanket and then it got caught on the. Yeah, I'm talking about you, motherfucker. I'm not gonna pet you. No, fuck you.
Aww. Poor baby.
Go back to your nap. Okay.
You're still
Situation
down in Iris.
fixed.
So you're still in this time.
Yeah. Did I think this would happen? Yeah. Did I think this would happen at any point this year? No. No, I did not.
That's the joys of this group. It's always like that distant possibility that like maybe down. Nope, today.
Mm-hmm. Right now, actually.
Good.
All of us have been bit by that at this point. Or at least all three of us that DM.
Mm-hmm. I think the very first session of Dragon Heist, or second session, you guys skipped an entire arc of the first chapter.
Whoops.
Which is fine.
Just like y'all skipped like an entire arc in a chapter in Spelljammer already.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta figure out how to like shoehorn in what we are supposed to learn in other places. Joe and I were discussing. Well, I was talking more at Joe about this, but he seemed to think it was cool.
I like this idea.
Oh?
We need Feyre and Clint to be able to put their heads together and by some leap of creativity and foolishness get a single blast of Feyre's blunderbuss to have the properties of one of his bullets.
Huh.
Yeah, right? Right? It's gonna
That
be mental.
would be interesting.
Don't need an answer right now, but think about it.
I'll straight up say it's not a no.
Hell yeah.
It's on the table. We just have to figure out the how and when. Because that's something later on down the line. We gotta figure out how this happens. And then we gotta, like, in game. And then we gotta figure out the actual mechanics of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm so down.
Let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm. You got me on stream saying this.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm gonna be
legal.
honest with you. I might fucking forget. So it's on you guys to remind me.
I think both of us are more than capable of remembering cool shit. At the very least,
Yeah.
we may not
Yeah.
remember much else on any given day,
Mm-hmm.
but we remember the fuck around and find out bits.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll say it's probably not going to be like Clint's being a passive thing for all his bullets. It's going to be something that you guys have to expend resources to get.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll work that out later. Oh my gosh! Guys,
What?
look at how small this frog is.
It's one of the bottle cap ones. Oh, even smaller.
That's a
Hello.
very small frog.
Oh my god.
Hey guys.
Hello.
That's a frog?
I know, right? It's teeny. It's so small. Look at it. Look at him.
My favorite thing are still like the little green frogs that you get the pictures of them like taking a bath in like the cap of a water bottle.
Yeah. Oh, those are so cute.
We have the party again.
Right,
Yes.
right. Just so you guys know, this was labeled as a Rio Grande chirping frog. Just so you guys know, it's very important information. Because it's so fucking cute. Okay. Let me fucking click off. Get the frog off my screen. Got shit to do. Iris, we good?
Yeah, just slight anxiety.
You're fine. If it makes you feel any better, you are so much more prepared than I am.
I don't know how that's possible.
That's the life of a DM. DMs are riding the bus, like right in the very top of the fucking wave.
Yeah. What I have no idea what I am going to be saying. It all depends on what you're going to be saying, which you have written out.
I told you what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah. I still don't know what I'm going to be saying.
You look at DMs and think that they live in this like mighty tower of their creation. No, we're on the top of a fucking
Obviously.
Jenga tower. We are one brick away from going down.
And that's when
But
we
it's still
call
a
5-minute
tower.
break.
But
Whenever
it's
the
still a
tower
tower.
crumbles, that's when we either end session or call for a break.
Top
All
of
right.
the Jenga tower. It's already starting to lean a little bit.
Yep.
Shakes every time somebody breathes. Oh god, don't let us go down this time.
It's exactly how I DM, man. All right. You ready? Let's get back into session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so what? Sprinkle sits down and is like hyperventilating a little bit. She's catching her breath. Just plops her ass down.
Another one-fingered pat on the head.
Yeah, she'll take. She appreciates the pat on the head. Rose, what exactly do you do?
So Rose is a bit stunned by what Sprinkle said. She kind of goes very still, and her eyes kind of glaze over as if she's like thinking, like she's not staring at anything. It's more like she's in her own head. And then she gets a slight determined look on her face. And she will try to connect to the ring.
Does she hold it at all, or is it just still resting in the necklace?
Oh, it's still on the necklace. Maybe she'll put her hand over her chest, over the necklace.
Okay.
And close her eyes and focus on channeling through the ring.
Okay.
Hello there. Am I speaking to High Queen Titania?
Rose, when you channel into the necklace, into the ring again, do you know that feeling you get when you find an old box that hasn't been opened in years? And you create, like, open it and it just kind of creaks a bit. Dust comes flying out slightly. The wood strains because it hasn't been used in so long. It kind of feels like that as you channel that function of your ring. It's been a long time since you've used that feature. And as you connect with the ring and you feel this connection opening up, rather than feeling the familiar presence of Ashley on the other hand, you feel the presence of someone that feels so hot that they're cold at the edge of your mind. And you hear back a reply. And who is speaking to me?
Hey, Rosette Levier. A friend of the person you stole that ring from.
A friend of little Ashley's. I never stole anything. You see, I own this ring. I think you must be mistaken.
Well, that's easy for a thief to say. Obviously, since that ring is not yours.
Rosette, you feel the ring in your palm as you hold it get hotter. Not enough to burn, but it's very uncomfortable. Those are very bold words to say to me. I've never heard someone say that to me before.
Well, means you're listening then. But bring aside. That's. I will be coming back for that eventually. But what's more important here is, just like that ring isn't yours, neither is Ashley. He isn't yours and never will be. So don't bother trying to send your ilk to come hunting after him, because there will be hell to pay.
Rosette, you hear silence, and then very softly, you hear a just giggle that turns into a chuckle, that turns into full out laughter, that gets so loud, so gradually that it almost pierces your ears with how shrill and how loud it is. You feel like a slight headache coming on from how loud it is and how it's just nonstop. As it suddenly stops. You are so interesting. Oh, that's so funny that you think he's not mine. Oh, this is going to be very fun when I get him back. But, oh, don't worry, I'm not sending anyone after him. He's going to come back from something else. And this is mine. And he is mine. From something you don't even know about because you're just a little baby. But that's okay. Don't worry, I will take you under my wing and I'm going to show you exactly why. He's mine. I'll be keeping in touch. It's so nice to meet you. I look forward to talking with you so much more. And thank you so much for introducing yourself and bringing your passionate feelings to my attention. I look forward to working with you.
The feeling isn't mutual.
Oh, that's what makes it so fun. This is going to be the start of a beautiful relationship. You'll see. And with that presence in the back of your mind, at the edges that was giving you a slight headache, is gone.
Rosette, as the connection dissipates, she slowly opens her eyes and grabs at the drink that she had only been sipping at.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a big swig.
Just to have it on record, Rosette, the ring burned as you had it in your hand. And there's a slightly different feel to it as it rests against your chest. You cannot take that off.
But after she takes the big drink, she'll try to take it off and, like, throw it.
Nope, there is no way to take it off. The chain that it was sturdy enough before. It was a good quality chain, but still breakable. There is no way to break it. Its base is stuck to the back of your neck, almost as if it's fused into your skin. And the more you tug at it, the more it digs into you and it hurts. Trying to open it to take the ring off, the chain is futile. It is bound to you.
Is Rosette doing enough, like, struggling with it now, or was it just like a touch it, kind of pull at it once, and then let it go?
She gave it a few tugs. She took a sip, tried to pull it off, didn't. Took another sip and tried to pull harder, wincing as she feels it dig into her.
Farah, I imagine through the conversation and the initial, like, reach for the drink was kind of focusing on Sprinkle. But as the movement starts up, she just turns her head, kind of watches, and then brow furrows, continuing to watch. What you all fidgety for?
What was that?
What you all fidgety for?
I'm not fidgety, I just can't get this off.
Pharaoh will kind of reach out and pause just long enough to, like, make sure Rose is not going to, like, slap her hand away or anything like that. I'll just, like, slide a finger under the chain on one side, because I'm imagining it's not, like, fused to her skin, like, all the way around, right?
Nope. They're essentially, whichever way you pull it, or pulling from, the opposite side of the chain, that part is fused. So say you pull it from the front, the back of it is like, there's just one part of the chain that is just constantly fused to her, and it just rotates as it moves around.
So Farah just, like, hooks a finger under, kind of lifts, sees that it's, like, not working, slides a finger, like, kind of going side to side, at first, like from the side of the necklace that she's on. And her brow furrowing a little bit more. This ain't some sort of prank.
Pretty sick one if it is.
Figure just kind of stands up and will go stand behind Rose and just like, she's not like yanking at it, just kind of like lightly pick up from both sides to like pick up over the head, sees it doesn't come up, puts it back down. What'd you do?
May have pissed off an archfey.
Clint looks down, grabs his holster, and starts adjusting it back onto his belt. Checks the gun, goes through every barrel or every chamber, and looks at it and just goes, "She on her way."
I don't think so.
Feyre, still standing behind Rosette, will put a hand on top of Rosette's head, pull her head back so she is now looking straight up at Feyre as she is like looking down. You can't explain that a little bit more.
So, first of all, she's sending this out to everyone besides Sprinkle because she was already connected to everyone. So they can all hear this.
Sprinkle is passed out as soon as Rosette said that. Sprinkle fainted on the table.
Well, she didn't. That's the thing, though. She's speaking in her head. So
Yep. Sprinkle
okay.
Yeah, Sprinkle has
Right.
not heard any of the conversations
Sprinkle
tonight.
Sprinkle's only hearing
a paper bag.
Sprinkle's only hearing Clint and Feyre's side of the conversation right now.
All right.
Yep.
Well, Sprinkle, then ignore that. I forgot that Rosette's doing the thingy. Sprinkle has pulled out a paper bag and is controlling their breathing, cross-legged on the table.
The ring that Ashley and I, the set of rings that Ashley and I had, they had a special little trick. They can communicate with each other, with whoever's wearing them. I may have told. I may have told Titania to back off and stay with Ashley.
That seems reasonable enough. What did she say?
You see Feyre take a slow breath. The hand comes off the head, just for the hand to come back and connect with the back of Rosette's head. Just whap back of the head.
Oh.
What the fuck are you doing that for?
What do you mean? I'm trying to protect my friend.
Yeah, but why fucking wait for the like? Ooh. Feyre now sunk into infernal. Just cold, lots of cold coming off of Feyre right now.
I don't say what the big deal is. Did she listen to you, or did she get all huffy about it?
She got pretty huffy.
Feyre reaches out, 4 fingers under chain now, pulls it up.
Like hard?
Not hard, but definitely enough that's probably uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming off.
Oh, I know it's not gonna come off. This is just tiny taste. Why you don't go doing that type of stuff? You don't go messing with all these high-minded, like, big beings that can do all this type of shit. If she can go chasing the Ashley from the Feywilds, and he has to go get special shit just to not be found. And you go waving your finger in front of her like she's actually gonna listen to you. What did you expect to happen? I thought you were the smart one of the two.
Well, it's better for her gaze to be on me than on him.
But you know that if her gaze is on you, she's gonna know where he is by the very sheer fact that you are near him.
She can't see him. And who says I have to be around him? He seems perfectly content with avoiding me.
Feyre just
Clint.
like, gives this deadpan look.
Clint is like tugging at the collar of his shirt, like, ooh, yeesh. Certainly glad he's in his room right now. But if she's looking for a fight, I'm figuring we'll give her a fight.
Oi! You know how I have managed to stay alive this long and with so few injuries, even though I have a couple to tell stories about. You know how I've managed to be this long. I don't go picking fights with things I know I can't beat. And the Queen of the Fairies is not somebody we can beat.
Well, Clint like pauses, thinks very, very hard about what he's going to say, and just goes, "You don't know that yet."
Now, deadpan look towards Clint.
There's no reason for you guys to get involved. It's fun.
But I want to get involved. I like picking fights that I don't know if I can win or not. That's how you get better at picking fights.
Audible slap to the face palm.
Well, at least I know who to call if it comes to it.
He gives you like a two-fingered salute. You can count on me whether you like it or not.
Looks from Clint to Rosette, back to Clint, slowly turning towards the Ganassi.
Yeah, I'm curious on their thoughts on this.
You realize the girl you're supposed to be watching and keeping track of and keeping safe and having to go diving into whatever fight she's gonna get in, she is now throwing all of you into the path of fucking Queen of the Fae.
So while you guys were talking, Venti pulled out a flask.
The hard stuff.
Yeah. And Boria and her have been taking shots. And Boria just looks to Rose. Rosette, did you really have to do that?
Wouldn't you do the same for your sister?
I see the point you're making, but it doesn't help the fight that you're picking. Rosie, you know we're with you. Whatever way we can be, but this is big.
I'm not asking you to get involved.
So when Venti, fucking from taking a fucking swig from their flask, just like slaps the flask down. It's like, no, we're getting involved. Whether you like it or not, kiddo, we are.
I'm sure if you guys don't want to, I can ask my parents to put you on another position. You are invaluable to the company after all.
And let you get all the glory of fighting whatever her name is? Nah, do you know what kind of story that would be?
He looks to Freya.
Just like massaging the like between her eyebrows. But she takes another swig of whatever the fuck Venti has in her flask. It's a liquid of sorts. It's like this very pale yellow, slight pink color to it. There's like a waft of it as Venti slams the flask down, and all you smell is just alcohol. You don't know what it is. All you know is that it's strong. It smells like fucking paint thinner.
Let's go.
As Zohar just takes a delicate sip like she's fucking sipping wine. We're with you, Rosette. We're not going to request the transfer. No, we're going to do our job, which is to make sure that you're protected and safe.
Well, luckily, I don't think she's coming here or sending anyone, it seems. She thinks Ashley's going to come back to her himself.
I doubt Ashley would go anywhere near her. He barely went anywhere near you. And he likes you a lot more, I think.
I hope your assumption's correct. We keep an eye on him. Hopefully nothing will happen. And the worst thing that comes out of this is I can't take this piece of junk off. It's not that bad.
Well, I do have a solution to that. And where it's the ring, right?
The ring on the necklace, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Clint reaches he thinks reaches into his back pocket, and Farah, you can see him very clearly. He has a knife on the backside of his belt underneath his jacket. And he grabs the hilt of it and then stops and thinks, and you can see him doing that thing where he's processing the logistics of something, and then just goes, actually, never mind. And he takes his hand off the hilt and brings his hand over to his hip again.
Was he gonna chop off her finger?
He was gonna suggest it.
Feyre just watches for a moment. She is sinking lower and lower into her chair. And just kind of closes her eyes and, head thunks back against the very top of the chair now. Half under the table. See, this is why I go sailing. This is why I go sailing. So I don't have to deal with people making stupid decisions because they're too fucking lost on the land. That's why I go sailing. Go back to sea. Go back to sea. Yeah. Sounds much better now.
Venti reaches over and offers to fill up a glass with her fucking mystery shit.
Pharaoh will accept.
Oh boy, okay. Fucking bring up a glass, she pours like a shot in. It's that same fucking mystery alcohol thing. It is the strongest fucking thing you have ever tasted and smelled and ingested. It is the closest thing to pure ethanol you can get.
There is just enough of a like surprise as she like knocks this back that the like cold emanating from Feyre stops for a second. There's a moment where the frost like on the table in front of her kind of stops spreading. She blinks, but then thunks the glass down. And then just goes back, eyes closed, head back against the chair again. just happy thoughts of the sea, happy thoughts of ships, staying away from the crazy landlubbers.
Borea's gonna offer a sip of her glass to Clint.
Clint will take it, and like he'll take it. There's zero hesitation. He just kicks it back immediately and hands her an empty glass.
I'm assuming no reaction, right?
None. Doesn't
Yeah.
flinch. He
She
doesn't even
blinked?
like he has a near zero reaction to the alcohol that just hit his system.
It's like it was fucking water.
Mm-hmm.
She like blinks, waits a second, waits another second, staring at Clint.
He just blinks at her.
She takes the glass back, slides it to Venti to get a refill, and just takes a sip from it and gives like a nod to Clint. Slight confusion in her eyes, but mostly like respect. Okay. Venti is going to offer Rosette a swig from straight from the flask.
Rose hesitates because she's probably had a swig once in the past, but never again.
Yeah. She like
She
wiggles
looks-
the flask, and Venti is just like, I feel like if there's ever a situation for it, now's the time.
Shrug. Takes like not even a full shot, but like a half a shot kind of thing. And
Yeah.
flinches hard and makes a horrible face. Like she is not an alcohol person.
Looks like a fucking cat coughing up a hairball.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Can Clint get drunk?
I would assume if he drinks enough alcohol, it could have an impact on his system somehow. Like maybe he could suffer from alcohol poisoning and like actually take damage or get hurt. But I don't think that just like standard drunkenness would be an issue for him, really.
Doesn't
I just
that
want
race
to
have
ask.
something to deal with like poison?
I don't
resistance or something?
actually know. Let me see.
Or disease or something?
Don't need to eat, drink, sleep, or breathe, but yeah, there's nothing here about poison. He has, nothing explicitly about poison.
Could have sworn there was something about resistance, like poison or disease or something.
You'd think.
Race?
I would think. Human.
Reborn. What?
Reborn.
Okay.
We don't know in character.
Oh, here you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Here it is. It's part of deathless nature. You have advantage on saving throws against disease and being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage. There you go. You were right. It
'Cause
was buried in something that I glossed over.
I've always associated like drunkenness as being loosely related to disease and poison. That's
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, so however you want to interpret that for like drunkenness. I was just curious because
Mhm.
he just drank like what a drink's worth of like for something really fucking strong.
If you want to make him roll a save for it, I will roll a save for it.
I'll
But
say one drink no. If there's more than one drink, yes.
yeah, Clint with I would say that Clint as of right now has not been drunk. There's not been an alcohol that has hit him and made him stagger. Considering his liver just doesn't liver anymore.
Doesn't live.
Yeah. His liver doesn't do anything, and his stomach doesn't do anything.
Doesn't live ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take another fucking swig of that shit and just, without even bothering to ask, tops off Borea's glass.
Feyre's like continued to mutter to herself under her breath for a few minutes. It's finally gone quiet. Slowly pulling herself back up into the chair properly, shaking her head. Okay. We were gonna have to deal with this shit at some point anyway, so who cares? Just a couple months earlier than we thought was gonna happen. Who cares? But one thing at a time. One thing at a time. We got demons we gotta deal with every night for the next, like, what, 4 or 5 nights? And trying to figure out who the hell is summoning them and pointing them in directions. And you know what? Tanya just shows up out of nowhere. Just, maybe, I don't know, toss a demon at her. That'll work.
Clint perks up for a second and just goes, "Oh, good plan. I hear that the Fae don't do well with the whole iron thing. I think I read that in a book somewhere."
And Feyre just kind of nods, absently, kind of half hearing Clint, looks towards Rosette, puts a finger directly in her face. And you, no more chatting with the fucking Archfey without telling us. Especially no threatening Archfey without telling us.
I don't think telling you would have helped, but sure.
Telling us would have let us tell you how fucking stupid it was, and so maybe something might have gotten through that thick skull of yours.
Oh, I would have told you to do it.
Never listen to what Clint says.
Was a bit brash. I apologize for that, but I'm not particularly happy with the situation.
You know what? Ain't nobody happy with the situation. So go fight threatening Archfey, Queen of the Fae, whatever the fuck she wants to call herself. Do you have a survival instinct? Even a tiny sliver one. Looks to the Ganassi. Does she have a survival instinct?
At the same exact time, Venti says no, Borea says yes.
blinks at them, you see just a range of emotions, and I want to say this, it's like rapidly going across her face before anything can come out.
I've never gotten myself into a situation I can get out of it before.
Well, congratulations, this is going to be your first time. And it's about the deepest pit you could have dug. Oh, I think worse might have been like insulting one of the demons of the Nine Hells.
Clint, this whole time, has been smiling and, like, his confidence in the situation has not wavered. He seems totally unbothered by by threatening a Fey Queen. Like, yeah, whatever. If she shows up, we'll shoot her.
You see Berea take the flask out of Venti's hand and just kick back like 3 swigs.
Oh, this is gonna be real fun. You know what? You, getting pointing at Rosa in the face. I'll have to tell Ashley in the morning what the fuck you did. I'm not telling him this.
Sure. If he'll talk to me.
Oh, he'll talk to you, and then he's gonna have a panic attack because he just knew about how to panic attack earlier because all this shit.
He did?
Fear just like does this like you think type gesture. He found out that a queen that he does not like, does not want to go back to, is chasing him or is going to be chasing him. Yeah, not super happy.
She apparently isn't anymore. Or didn't plan to.
How do you know that's even true?
I don't.
Again, this is like gesture like Feyre's having a spiral moment.
I can only work off the information that I know, or that I've been told. And she seemed pretty confident.
Well, if it means anything, I'm pretty confident too.
Get for probably the first time a dirty look shot in Clint's direction from Feyre.
Clint sees Feyre looking at him, and then he looks behind him, as if the dirty look was not intended for him. It has to be for someone who's behind him. Just turns back around and points to himself. Me?
Single nod.
Looks like blinks for a second. What'd I do?
Throw his hands in there. Just throws hands in the air, takes a deep sigh as she covers her face for a minute. Okay. Was that you gonna talk to Ashley in the morning and tell him exactly what you did? Hopefully, the boy is still gonna have it beating hot after that. Then, I'm gonna take you to see Archer, and maybe, I don't know, he might be able to figure out something about that necklace. And extracting it from you at this point. And if not, we'll figure it out from there, I guess. How the hell did I become the one with the common fucking sense in this place?
Clint just kind of scratches top of his head, just goes, "Common sense is what my daddy told me was a bit too cheap." Something like that. I can't really remember. But if y'all staying here, you need a room.
I probably should head back home to let my parents know what's going on first.
It's
Nods.
like 3 a.m. right now. Get yourself to sleep. You are not getting out to talking to Ashley in the morning.
We didn't plan on that.
So you can tell him and then head back to your family after that. At least I already gone through the trouble of getting beds ready for them. Gestures towards Venti and Bray.
Venti is just like slumped against Borea, who is just like resting her like chin on her palm as she just like swirls the glass that still has the fucking mystery liquor in it. Uh, rooms would be nice. What are the chances that this is just a really bad dream? Right?
I can convince you.
What?
Dear, I don't. Let me just put it this way. I start wondering about what if this is all just a dream. About every 2 or 3 days around here. Unfortunately, it never has been up to now. Just
Wishful thinking.
figure it.
I think if we just finish the flask, I'll just forget it all.
Well, then we're gonna have to tell you again in the morning, and then you're not gonna have any of the nice stuff to cope with it. So, I think just finishing the drink that you have right now probably the best idea.
Takes a sip. You're right, probably for the best. I don't want to get too drunk. Looks over at Venti, who is just slumped against her.
She'll be alright. She just needs to sleep it off.
And water. A lot of it.
I'm sure the jug in the room is full.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've confiscated that flask so many times. I don't know what she puts in it.
Good shit. That's the answer. Good shit.
She makes it herself. I don't know what she does to it. Or where she even makes it, but it's the strongest thing I've ever tasted. And it doesn't disappoint. Don't recommend drinking more than 3 glasses, though.
I don't recommend drinking more than a shot.
Right, well, at least you didn't throw up this time, so that's good.
I didn't take a full shot this time. But I am feeling it.
You're fucking lightweight.
I'm not one to drink hard liquor, okay?
She's really not. The first time she tried Venti's drink, she threw up and then passed out.
Ah. At least you tried.
Didn't need that reminder.
But let's get you all up to your rooms. I think there should be an extra spare one on the top floor for you, Rosette, and double that's already been prepared for the two of you. Stands up, will deposit Sprinkle onto her shoulder for now.
Mm-hmm.
She will get Sprinkle back into Ashley's room somehow in a minute.
Sprinkle has become one with her paper bag. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Do not hyperventilate. Use the paper bag. Paper bag is life. Berea's gonna stand up and just like, she didn't finish her drink, but she's just gonna look at Clint and just lean over and hand the glass, offer it to him.
He'll take it and, like, this is the stupid hard liquor.
Yep.
Clint looks at it and just shrugs and kicks it back without, like, a second thought yet again.
She just like tilts her head at him. It's like,
What? I got something on my face.
We're pretty sure he don't have no taste buds.
that would explain it. I've been drinking this for years. That's why I can drink it like that.
Man drank straight vinegar the first day we met him.
That explains a lot, I think. Okay, so you just can't taste it.
He looks at it for a second and then tilts his head, thinks about it. I guess I drank it too fast to actually taste it. Gotta just kicked it back. He shrugs.
You not feel the burn?
He tilts his head the other way, and then he'll be like, a little. But it doesn't bother me.
Remind me never to go drinking contest with you. Though I am impressed.
Or go to a drinking contest and bet on him.
That's also an idea. We should write that down. If you have time in between dealing with, angry archfays.
It's some kind of emotion demons as well.
Oh, we have full plate. Angry Archface, demons, whatever the fuck is trying to go after all these supposed hordes of gold. Trying to keep this place open. Oh, we just got a fun time ahead of.
Right.
Muttering to herself as Pharaoh will walk around the table and kind of try to help Venti up to her feet a little bit.
Yeah. Berea's got one of Venti's arms slung over her shoulder.
Grab the other one.
Get a nod of thanks from Berea. You just hear a mumble from Venti of just gibberish. Okay, up to bed you go. Told you not to down the rest of that flask. What do? You down the rest of the flask. Oh, now you just embarrassed yourself in front of new people.
Figure snorts but does not comment as she helps them upstairs to the guest floor.
Alright. Fucking Borea's mission is to get Venti to bed, make sure she doesn't die, and then go to bed herself.
Seems
She
reasonable.
will thank Feyre for her help, though. Any other last things to do during this night before you all go to bed?
No. I think that's a wrap.
Feyre will break into Ashley's room to deposit Sprinkle and steal a pen. And then leave.
Sprinkle would show you where the pens are. Okay. You guys all settle into your rooms for the night. Long rest time. We're going to end the session here. Pick up pick up the next session the next morning. Gotta fill Ashley in on all the shit.
Hell yeah.